To the new lecture, and in this lecture we are going to discuss about the remaining topic of this chapter, that is 8th class. Okay, so class 8 biology. Okay, so the class 8 biology and the chapter 3. Okay, this is chapter 3, that is the end. This is almost ending topic. So we are going to discuss about the plant and plant diseases. Okay, means these microorganisms that will cause diseases in plants, that we are going to discuss in this topic. So already we have discussed about what is meant by microorganism. Microorganism means the organisms that are microscopic in nature and they are not visible to the naked eye. They are known as microorganisms. Okay, so here the table is going to describe about different types of microorganisms. And by the way, good afternoon everyone. Good afternoon. And if you have any doubts or questions, ask in the comment section or in the live chat section so that we can respond to it. Okay. So this is the table. In this table, we are able to see different types of plant diseases. Name of the plant disease, causative organism, mode of transmission, and figure. It means what is meant by plant disease. It means if the particular plant is getting, or if the particular plant is suffering from certain kind of disease, that is known as plant disease. What is plant disease? So disease is nothing but improper functioning of the organism due to the other microorganism that is invaded. That is known as disease. Okay. So diseases are mainly caused by the microorganisms, especially bacteria, fungi, viruses, and so on. So again, mode of transmission means how they are transmitting from one plant to another plant. It means how these microorganisms are transferring from one diseased plant to the another disease containing plant or another healthy plant. So it means the population of the microorganism is increasing by infecting the plant organisms or by infecting the plants. So the mode of transmission is different. Some may travel through the air, some may travel through the water, some may travel from based upon some other structures or some other mode. Okay. So this is the figure. Figure is nothing but if any plant part is going to show some abnormal spots. Okay. So abnormal spots or colors on them, that is known as figure, or that is known as symptom. Okay, here in this diagram you can see the lemons are going to have a brown color spots. These brown color spots are nothing but so they are some kind of structures. These brown color spots are symptoms. Symptoms means it is an indication particular organism is having particular disease. So that is known as disease. So this is citrus canker, means on the lemons you can see the brown color spots that you can see in this diagram. These brown color spots on the lemons are known as disease caused lemons or disease caused plants, so by the bacteria. Okay, next is the red rot of sugar cane, means inside the sugar cane, if you split open the sugar beet, okay, so you can see the red color spots on them. Such kind of red color spots on the sugar cane or inside the sugar cane is known as red rot of the sugar cane. So this disease, red rot of the sugarcane, is caused by a fungus. Fungus is a microorganisms, and they are transmitted, or they are traveling through air or through seedling. Seedling means if you take a small part of the sugarcane, if you plant it into the ground, and that small sugarcane. So this is a small sugarcane. So if you put it on the soil, so the sugarcane will germinate into new plant, and this plant will have the disease. Why? Because this small piece is going to have a disease. What is the disease? Red rot of sugarcane. Okay. Next is in this diagram you can see the sugarcane is going to have brown color spots or red color spots. Okay. Next, the tica disease. Tica disease of groundnut. Here you can see the fungus is going to cause such kind of disease, tica disease in groundnut plants. So if you see on the leaves, if the small spots are present, these spots are due to a disease that is known as tica disease. Tica disease is caused mainly in the groundnut plants. Okay. Next, the tobacco mosaic disease. So it is also known as TMV. TMV means tobacco mosaic virus. So if this tobacco mosaic virus is going to infect, the tobacco plants. So it is such kind of disease is known as tobacco mosaic disease. it is caused by it is transmitted by the insects. It means insect is going to travel these viruses to the new plants. So hence the new plants are getting been infected with such kind of tobacco mosaic viruses. Next is smut disease of rice. So that this disease caused mainly due to the fungus. Okay, fungus is going to cause such kind of disease in a rice plant. So such kind of the fungus is carried away by the wind. Means wind is helping the fungus to transfer from one plant to another plant. Okay. Next is the food poisoning. What is food poisoning? Food poisoning is nothing but, so if you leave the food aside, okay, some microorganisms will enter into the food material and they cause diseases and they cause multiplication, and they will cause release of certain toxicants after certain toxins. So such kind of disease, such kind of releasing toxins in the food material by the bacterial division, okay, it is known as food poisoning. What will happen if you eat such kind of a food material? So if you eat such kind of a food material, there is a chance of getting food poisoning. The food poisoning is a condition. So where if a person eats a contaminated food material, okay, contaminated food material, he is going to have the food poisoning. He is going to have the food poisoning. Why? Because the food is going to contain a certain kind of bacteria. That decomposing food contains certain bacteria. That bacteria is known as Clostridium botulinum. Clostridium botulinum. It is a bacteria. It is going to divide in the food materials. It is going to increase its population in the food material and release a toxin known as botulin. Okay, botulin toxin. So if any person eats such kind of a food material containing botulin toxins, the toxins will act on the person. As a result, the person is going to have vomitings, diarrhea, and also motions and all these things. So eventually that person has to admit in hospital. So this is due to the disease known as Clostridium. This is known as botulism. This disease is also known as botulism. Okay. Next is the food preservation. How do you preserve food material? Okay. So food preservation is nothing but storing food material for a little bit more time. Okay, is known as food preservation. Food preservation prevents decomposition. It is going to prevent decomposition. So that is known as food preservation. There is a number of methods of food preservation. Okay. So what are the method of food preservation? By using chemicals. You can store the food material. So what chemicals? Example, first main thing is NaCl, sodium chloride. By using sodium chloride, you can store food materials. Okay. So example, dry fish. Okay. What is dry fish? So if you catch a fish, so if you put salt on it and keep it under the sun, so what is going to happen? The water content in the fish will get evaporated and it is full of salt. So as a result, the fish becomes dry, and this is a preservation through salt. Okay, that is NaCl, a chemical. Okay. Next is cold method. Okay, if you put an apple or a vegetable inside the refrigerator, so that will become the temperature will be less than 0 degrees Celsius. So that such kind of lower temperatures, okay, less than 0 degrees Celsius, is mainly suitable for the storing food materials under preservative condition. Okay. So next, by increasing temperature, okay, by increasing little bit more temperature, you can kill the microorganisms which is present in the food material. Okay. So based on the food preservation methods, based on food preservation, there are two types. One is the heat preservation, also another is the cold preservation. So heat preservation is nothing but boiling or heating the food substances to kill the microorganisms. That is known as heat method. By using heating method, also you can kill the microorganisms. Next one is the cold method. By decreasing temperature, as we have discussed just now, less than 0 degrees Celsius, also you can store the food material for longer period of time. But if you keep the food material in the refrigerator, that it will be around 4 to 6 degrees Celsius. This is also suitable for storing food material for little bit more time, like around 1 day or 12 hours and so on. Okay. So next one is a pasteurization. So what is pasteurization? It is a preservative method. Okay, it is a preservative method for the storing milk. Okay, that is known as pasteurization. So in the pasteurization process, the milk will be taken, okay, and it will be heated up to 70 degrees Celsius. After that, after heating up to 70 degrees Celsius for 15 minutes, what will happen? So the microorganisms will be dead. Okay, the microorganisms will be dead, and the milk will be again stored. Okay, again packed and stored. Such process is known as pasteurization. Okay, such process is known as pasteurization. Here there is two types of pasteurization. One is HTST. Okay, HTST means high temperature. Okay, short duration. High temperature, short time. Okay, short time duration. That is known as HTST. Okay, so in the HTST, you are going to store. You are going to boil the milk. Okay, at higher temperature for short time, and again you are cooling. You are cooling the milk, and you are cooling and storing the milk. Okay, this is known as pasteurization process. Okay. So this is done by the Louis Pasteur. Louis Pasteur identified this pasteurization method, and later on Lazaro Spallanzani is the first person to prove experiment in that. So killing microorganisms in the food material, okay, prevents the spoiling of the food materials. Okay. So invention of pasteurization leads to sterilization process. Sterilization is what? Killing of microorganisms on any surfaces, whether it may be bacteria or anywhere. If you kill such kind of microorganisms by using chemicals or any other method, that method is known as pasteurization method. That is method is known as sterilization. Okay, sterilization means killing of microorganisms. That's all. How you kill, that is your wish. Whether you kill through chemicals, whether you kill through the temperature, or whether you kill from exposing to higher temperature, or what it may be, that is your wish. But killing of microorganisms by using some method, that is known as sterilization. Okay. So how the food can be stored and packed? The food can be stored and packed by following some steps. That is, so preservation of the food material by using high temperature, short temperature, or by killing microorganisms by using heat. Okay. Later on, the food is preserved longer period. Food by using this by using this method, you can store the food material for longer time, and the quality of the food is ensured for longer time. It means you can store the quality of the food materials also for the long time, and a variety of food materials may be available for far places, can be in any season. For example, in Japan, the apples are present. Okay, so those apples can be sent to India, by cooling. Okay, by cooling the temperature. That is known as storaging and packing. Okay, and I hope this lecture is helpful to you. And anyway, if you have any doubts or questions, ask in the comment section or live chat section, and we will discuss